That's it. That's all I got. I was going to make up more words, but it didn't. Ah. Oh, there's a few people here. Nobody talking yet, but YouTube tells me that there are a few people here. Oh, how is it going to whoever is here? I've got my giant Coca-Cola, so I'm not going to drink straight out of the bottle tonight. I'll put them in my cup. It's all in my imagination. It's not. Well, it's not all in my imagination. YouTube is telling me that there are people here, and you have proven them correct. Well, you haven't proven that there are as many people here as YouTube says, but you've proven that somebody's here. Oh, you're an AI? Uh-oh. I think there may have been some dust in this cup. A little bit of bonus protein. Oh. This episode brought to us by... It's not at all paid for that. Domino's. When you want a mediocre pizza at a reasonable price, and every 8th one is free if you use their point system. It's a pretty good ad. Domino's. When you want a mediocre pizza at an okay price, and every 8th one to be free. Domino's. Dust is fiber, not protein. Well, maybe it's both. Maybe it's neither. It's not going to kill me, though. Of all the things that could kill me, sawdust might be one of them, to be honest. Not in the pop form, but got back day before yesterday, and just as we left to head back, tornadoes hit every state we drove through. Did you do tornado chasing? Did you like Twister with your instruments? Did you TikTok that shit? Poker Face is here. Gretchen's here. Eric's here. People are coming. You don't TikTok? Well, not with that attitude. I don't TikTok either. Have you still be going strong without alcohol? I think I know what you mean. I mean, strong is a relative term. I am still without alcohol. Well, I'm without alcohol again. I drank one time in the last 9 months. I lost track. It's like I drank on August 10th last year, and then I drank on April 28th this year. So I love a love-hate relationship with tornadoes, like train wrecks. Tornadoes are neat. You're right. Tornadoes are a weird thing because they're neat and they're beautiful in their own way, and they're a force of nature that you should appreciate, and they can do a tremendous amount of damage. I think all forces of nature are beautiful for what they are. Like, they're beautiful science of what's happening. But yeah, they can do some shit. Appreciate from a distance. Yes, they're pretty way over there. Did pick up a mason jar of moonshine for a buddy at work when we were in Kentucky. It looks just like water. That's how they get you. Congrats on your renewed so-wee streak. I need to do a test with 48 hours of no wine. I'm scheming? You're scheming? What are you... I'm having a hard time kicking the alcohol habit. It's not an easy thing to do, depending on how much of a hold it's got on you and what that hold is and why it exists. It's any advice I'm not qualified to give advice, my friend. All I tell people is that I mean, for me, I have determined that I cannot be the best human being for myself and my family and my community and my friends and the planet when I am drinking. And my goal is to live my life in a way that I am the best I can be. And so every day that I can convince myself that that's the goal, and that is a hindrance to that goal, I can successfully not drink. But everyone has their own relationship with it, and what is going to work for some people isn't going to work for other people. And yeah, I can't give advice on an individualized basis for sure, but for me, it's a matter of keeping my eyes on the prize in terms of what makes me the best person I can be. They fascinate me. Tornadoes. I grew up in North Texas and was also terrified. You should be right. Tornadoes are like a router. You know, like they're a beautiful, wonderful thing, but you should have respect for what they can do. Remember me? I'm Poker Face's visually impaired Braille gamer. Yeah. You're trying to quit weed. John McGill's here. How you doing, my friend? Okay, showed up not extremely late. I'm going to go to live chat. I was only 8 minutes in when I remembered to switch it. Look at me go. Long day. I had passed out for a while. Today or last week when you showed up an hour late and we were just finishing. How is the garage / shop coming? Are you spinning? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I relapsed. It happens. Quit again for a month and a week. If you need to cut something out of your life, every day that you have successfully not done that thing is a win. It's I don't want to say I don't agree with, but like the whole counting days and like looking at things forever and things like that, I think those are not necessarily going to be helpful for people. I know the cliche is like one day at a time or whatever, but then people say like, I've been sober for like 486 days, and like tomorrow, today, and then try again tomorrow. And you do 3 days, and then you take whatever that is that you're trying to not take. It doesn't negate those 3 days. Those 3 days still have value. Yeah, there's definitely some dust sitting on the surface of my Coca-Cola. And now it's sitting in a little ridge, and I can should have got a clean glass. Figured out what is wrong every time I quit. It's something called depersonalization. I learned you can recover from it after time, and I'm trying to refocus on that. Yeah, you don't want to not feel like myself anymore. And that's another facet of things. It's a part of your identity, like when part of who you are becomes that thing, it makes it harder to get rid of that thing because it's part of your identity now. Like, I'm a smoker. It's part of my identity, internalized identity. That's part of what makes it so difficult to stop, is because I still consider myself a smoker. It's also the chemical dependency and blah, 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 blah. But like, part of it is an internalized identity problem too. But I like what you're saying with I don't want to not feel like myself, because that means that you don't identify feeling like yourself with that thing. When you don't feel like yourself without that thing, that's a problem. When that thing makes you not feel like yourself, that's a pro, that's a plus. Not sure how long it'll take to feel better. Me neither. I think, but a lot. I've talked about this in some of my videos too. There's a reason. There's a reason that you were using the substance in the first place, and if that reason still exists, then not doing the substance, nothing changes over here. Like this is not the causal relationship. So whatever the cause of the use is, has to also change. I quit smoking with the help of a vape. I did that. Well, I've tapered. I do vape as well, and I have reduced my cigarette intake and replaced it with vape. And my theory is that eventually this will go and do that. It's not going as quickly as I would like, but I think I've replaced about a quarter or so of my cigarettes. I'm getting a Switch 2 on the 6th or so of next month. So that's something I have to look. Yeah, right on. You don't have to announce that you have questions. You can just ask questions. As long as there's a question mark at the end of it, I will know that it's a question. How long do you think it'll take for me to get my motivation back after quitting weed? I can't speak. I can't. That's going to be a different thing for everybody. I think, I think it goes back to that point that I was making about why the motivation is gone. I don't think the motivation was gone because of the weed. So, I mean, it doesn't help, obviously, but stopping weed doesn't everything's better now. Look at me go. The same with stopping drinking booze was not like, yeah, I don't drink anymore. Now I'm happy. No, because I wasn't happy before, which was contributing to the drinking. So stopping drinking doesn't all of a sudden mean that, oh, now I'm happy, because it wasn't, that's not the cause direction, right? You still struggle with it. But motivation? Oh, I mean, that's part of being a human being. I think everybody struggles with motivating themselves at times. I go through stints out here in the shop. We've talked about it lots of times about like the lack of motivation to be productive, and it's like sometimes it's okay. Just like I think socially and societally, we have put a lot of pressure on people to be constantly productive. And that impacts people emotionally when they are not, because they're supposed to be productive all the time. And that's not a healthy way to go through the world. Yeah, not being able to be productive when you need to, and being able to motivate yourself to be productive when you want to is a thing that's nice. But you got to be able to say sometimes, like, it just not gonna today, and that's got to be okay sometimes. And we always beat ourselves up over like, oh man, I could have got so much done today if I would have just been more motivated or whatever. Be nicer to yourself, people. Everybody needs to be nicer to themselves. And I think practicing being grateful, focusing once in a while on appreciating what you have, instead of worrying about what you don't have, is a healthy thing to do. And celebrating whatever small wins you get that come your way or through action. I cleaned your room the other day. There, see, just like that. I'm like, that's a thing that I did that I can be proud of. That's important. Celebrate small wins. Palado Creations. Huh. There's almost constant feeling of being in a dream or something. Yeah, like it just shit doesn't feel real. Well, this world has a way of doing that. Sometimes you just like, you kind of wish that this was a dream sometimes. But I mean, all you can do is the best you can do at any given time, and you have to recognize that best is not always going to be at the same level. If the best you can do is cleaning your room, that's the best you can do. That's a win. Do the best you can do and be kinder to yourself. And be kinder to the people around you and strangers that you meet along the way. Everybody be a little kinder to each other and a little kinder to themselves. And we'll be better off. We'll move in a positive direction. It does. Talked about this not that long ago too, about it feels good to accomplish things. It does. But You have to let the accomplishing of little things also feel good, and um, not criticizing yourself for not doing more than you did. Like when I create something new that didn't exist in the world before, I try, it's a key word there, not always successful at it, but I try to be as happy about making a fucking spatula as I do about a piece of furniture. Like, you still created a thing that didn't exist. You accomplished a thing. Obviously, I'm not going to be as proud of the spatula as I am of the piece of furniture, but I try to at least appreciate the success of, and recognize that that is still accomplishing, and that that is still the creation of a thing. Take your wins, Sean McGill. Take your wins where you can get the. Yep, life can be a wild ride. Yeah. Every time you get a win, recognize it and appreciate it. Insomnia is a bitch of a thing too. Yeah. We know nothing about what they're going through. Nobody knows what anybody else is going through. And just, if we were all just a little nicer to everybody all the time, that'd be great. That'd be great. I'm proud of myself for quitting as long as I have and actually putting in the effort. I'm proud of you as well. That's the right way to look at it. So you're just saying how proud you will be of yourself when you finish the shop stool. I won't, though. I said I will try. I will try to be proud of myself. I'm going to finish the damn shop stool. It's going to go to my parents and out of my way, and it can live at their kitchen counter island area thing as a bar stool, and it can get the fuck out of my life. And you can shut up about it, and we can move on. I don't even know what's winning yet. I was seeing the comments come in, but I was at work. So Patreon peeps get, their votes are more important. I'm not gonna lie. They pay me money, so their votes have more weight. And so far there's only one vote over there. And it's the guitars. You voted for me to finish the bass, to start and finish a new project instead of one of the many things that I've started. You voted for me to start another one. I don't think Mike really gives a hoot about the stool. I really don't. Other than the fact that I would be just as happy to. It's right here. I would be just as happy to break this thing down. It's not even glued together. It's just mortise and tenon and stuff. I would just put it all the parts back up on the lumber rack and just use them for something else at some point. I would be just as happy to do that as finishing this. It's like, that's what I should do. It's like, it should just, at least it would be out of my way. And it would just go back up on the lumber rack and be lumber. And then if I didn't get around to using the lumber that came out of it for something else, I could still just like pop it back together and finish it at some point. Man, why am I not doing that? Why did I have it all this? Well, it's because I think I left it assembled and in my way. Because if things moved or twisted or bowed or cupped or anything like that, they would be restricted from doing that to the point where they wouldn't then go back together. So I left it assembled in case the wood was going to do anything weird. It would still be, I would know that the joinery would still work. Oh, poker face, paying money. What? I like your channel. Keep up the good work. We wish YouTube didn't take a cut of this. Yeah, I also wish that, my friend. But I appreciate it. Thanks very much. I will put it towards more pizza. No, I'll put it toward, no, it'll just go into general revenue. I'll be honest. I wish I could just like separate things out into what there should be for, but it's going to go into the YouTube revenue that's going to end up in my bank account, and it's going to get used for whatever my bank account needs to get used for. I'm saying I do wish that YouTube let me like cash out my, like just store my money there and then cash it out. It like auto pays every time I'm over $100 at the end of the month. It goes. Whereas with Patreon, it just keeps building up until I say like, yes, please, can I have it? So like I can let it build up until I have enough to spend it on something particular that I want. And I can't accidentally spend it on something else. So that's what I like about Patreon. It's like a little bank account that it just slowly builds up. And then once it's got enough in it that I can like buy something with it, I can cash it out and spend it. And I don't have to risk it like going to something else. Like pizza. Oh, Paul. I've located all the stuff for your box. Just got to get the funds for shipping everything. I PayPal you the funds to ship stuff. Aren't I supposed to be paying for it because it's got a heavy ass set of templates and stuff in it? Do we need to go through the list again to make sure that you've got everything in there? A hidden savings account. That's it. Yeah. It slowly builds up. I think the first time I ever cashed out my Patreon, it was like a couple grand because I just let it build up in there for like a couple years. Right now, I think it's probably it. I cashed it out not that long ago. There's probably, I don't know, $600 or $700 sitting in there. Notice your boo-boos? Oh, they're just Veritas Band-Aids. Why is it that you guys use black Band-Aids? Well, it's not a you guys. It's a me thing. There are some things in this world that it is worth paying the extra money for the good version of. And I consider Band-Aids one of those things. These are the extra long Veritas Band-Aids from Lee Valley. They are about $10 for 20. They're about 50 cents each. But they're the fabric kind. They're rad black. And they're extra long on half the tail. So it's like there's this much of the Band-Aid and then the pad and then like this long. So you put the pad on whatever you've done and you stick down the one side and then the other side you can go a couple of times. It's fantastic. Stanifer's here. He's the worst. It's been a while, my friend. Need to kick my arse into finishing my woodworking space. Yeah, you do. Well, first you need to order that new lathe that we were talking about that time. Peckerwood's here. McGill got a pack of Band-Aids. Do you feel like your moods are more stable now? Stable, yes. It's not as roller coastery, but I miss the tops of that roller coaster. I really do. I think go watch one of what month update was it? The 4-month or 5-month update where I did math. I did happiness math. And I talked all about that, about like how things have sort of normalized in terms of my happiness quotient. And it was like, now I just kind of live at a 6, which I don't get 8s and 9s anymore, but I also don't get 1s and 2s. So now I kind of go, these days I go like sort of 4 to 6. When I'm unhappy, I'm not as unhappy. But when I'm happy, I'm not as happy. Johnny's Lathe Crafts. That sounds like a place I want to be. Found the peanut butter pretzels? Hey, down in Australia? New lathes on hold. What? Had to get a second car. It is a poor decision. That second car is going to cost you money. Okay? We already talked about how the lathe is an investment and it makes you money. What did Paul get? Oh, no. What did Paul get now? Hold on. Just got some new woodworking tools given to me. Oh, of course he did. Oh, you sent me those. That's right. He got a new lathe. Hey, you guys remember? Do you guys remember when we were talking about how he gets free tools all the time? And he said that the next time he got a free lathe, he was going to send it to me. You guys remember that? When I visit Canada next month, should I seek out Lee Valley for the bandages? You should seek out Lee Valley for the everything. Yes. The answer is yes. Get some Band-Aids while you're there, because apparently you guys can't even get them. You guys can't even order them. So yes, get a couple packs. They come in a cool metal tin too. I'll show you. I got brand new. Brand new box. I like them so much that I have my own Band-Aid supply at work. So Veritas, metal tin, 20 Band-Aids in a little metal tin. Definitely grab some. Because I don't know why they won't sell them to you guys and just ship them, but also get a hand plane and hold on, we gotta scroll back. It's starting to go in the only car I had, jokes aside, needed to make sure my wife can get to and from her appointments. Okay, well, but you said second car. Didn't need a second car, you just needed a new first car. Do you know how to make a custom pool stick? I do not. I mean, that's not true. I do know how to. I have never done it. and not really, honestly, not really something I'm interested in. I wouldn't be your guy. I would find somebody better, honestly. Need to run maybe back if you're live long enough. I don't know. Well, I never know how long this show goes. Did you move the planes or your seat? Depends when you were here last. I'm a, if you haven't been here for if you haven't been here in 2025, I'm on the other side of the room. With a new plain wall. So both would be the answer. Give me lots of ideas. We're going right before my birthday. Well, you go to leevalley.com and you go have a look around. And then when you go to the showroom, you get to hold them and then you can decide. It doesn't change the math though. Well, not with that attitude. I'd still say investment in you and your family's future. My 21st birthday, July 10th this year, be 3 months without weed. I wish you the best of luck and congratulations if you get there, but it's not a failure if you don't. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself for not meeting goals if you don't meet your goals. The striving for a goal is just as important as the meeting of a goal. How am I going to get those? Want to put them in my box? I'll have to hide them from myself. I could send you a box of Band-Aids. I could send you... Oh, I might get in trouble. I could send you a box of chili oil. The Fior. Your box is going on Monday. The box, the dice box, the bottle stopper. You want to add $10 and put a pack of Band-Aids in there? I got like 3 brand new packs of Band-Aids in there. And Paul's got a retired pilot friend who makes custom pool cues. I found out this morning I have to buy another car on top of the one I'm in the process of buying. Do you have to buy 2 new cars? So you guys need to buy multiple cars. I just need 1 motorcycle. I don't need multiple cars. Well, between the household, we do need multiple cars, but very lucky that we have a Woodcraft less than 15 miles from me. Yeah, I've never been to a Woodcraft, but I hear good things. Dude, that would rock. Okay, pack of Band-Aids for Gretchen. I'm not going to do the chili oil because I think liquids are like one of the restricted. I often feel like I have less of an appetite certain days now. Sure. I completely forget to eat some fucking days. Like, I'm sure that was one of my goals for the year was to get better at that. Don't think I ate Thursday this week. No, maybe it was yesterday. Might have been yesterday that I didn't eat. Just forgot again. I'm better than I was, but I'm still not good enough. But I gotta be kind to myself. I sold another custom metal guitar, so when I get paid for it, I'll get your box on the way. Does it have a lathe in it? That jet? Oh, also, I need you to remind me / send me a link to the bearings that I need for the Nova. Because I know you looked them up when we were first talking about it. You looked up what the bearings I needed. Might be able to drive over the border with liquids. Sure. But we're not talking about you, okay? It's not all about you all the time. Talking about Gretchen. Gonna pack a Mexican Coke in your box. Send that to you. Just has to be packed correctly. And you can't put it on the sheet. You have to pretend it's not in there. I think. I don't know. Life has changed. Looking to smuggle woodworking things across the border. You got, give me some of them Band-Aids. You got some of them Veritas Band-Aids? No, officer. No Veritas Band-Aids in this car. What? I don't even know. What is Veritas? My son told me he'd get a motorcycle. I told him no. He can't drive a car without crashing. Yeah, that's probably not good then. Take the entire cost of the guitar to ship the lathe to you. You said, though. It's fine. Fine. You keep your free lathe. Your 4th free lathe, or whatever it is. I'll just keep paying for mine, I guess. Funny enough, Veritas translates to truth. I didn't know that. Have you made a pizza peel? I have not made a pizza peel. I very rarely have to peel a pizza. So I have thought about it. Gretchen says, what's a pizza peel? It's for peeling pizzas, Gretchen. It's pretty self-explanatory. Wait, you want an unpeeled pizza? This is ridiculous. It's the scoop. You push it in under the pizza and you go. It's a giant spatula, basically, is what it is. Like when you go to like an actual pizza place with like a big ass oven that's stupid hot and it's got actual wood burning and shit in it. And they got a big long stick with a paddle at the end. If you're using a regular human being oven, you don't need a fucking pizza peel. It's the other reason I haven't made one. Like I don't need to. Now I want pizza. Oh. Well, if you want a mediocre pizza for an okay price, Domino's. The best of the garbage franchise pizzas. That was my ad. Pay me, Domino's. I've slept since we last discussed the bearing issue. The Nova Comet 2. I'm going back to playing my game because I don't like being on my phone very often. Yeah, I don't either. That's another thing I'm actively getting better. I'm actively trying and getting better at doing, is not staring at my phone. If you're getting a Switch 2 and you have not played, I cannot speak highly enough of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch. And on the Switch 2, they will probably be even better. I'll be there in 3.5 hours. Yeah, I got a whole extra one. We can go sharesies. Don't see why people like pizza. It's trash food. Because most people have a proper sized fucking stomach, Paul, and they can eat like real amounts of food. Just came back to tell you that I beat that game already. Is one of my favorite games of all time. Breath of the Wild was an experience. It was as near to perfection as a video game I've ever played. Bye, Braille. Enjoy your video game. Okay. Speaking of emotional, mental health things, a little bit. Can we have a little discussion, please, about Thunderbolts? Because hot damn, that, I don't care what anybody says, that was a good film. I'm going to go too. All right. Later, my friend. Technically, pizza has all the food groups we were taught. Yeah, I guess technically. It's fine. Everybody, you eat whatever you want. Paul wants to eat a fucking tablespoon of rice because that's all he can fit in his stomach. Just like, let's lay off him. Okay? Paul, why don't you get him to put in like an android stomach? Like, you got robot knees and ankles and shit. Just get him to put in a robot stomach. And then you can eat like a normal person. Just attended an AC/DC concert. I remember you saying you were going on that. What do you mean by Thunderbolts? The Marvel movie, the new Marvel movie, Thunderbolts. Isn't that what it's called? Thought that was. That got me questioning myself. I had fish and a Dr. Pepper. Ugh. Good shit and bad shit. LJ Woodworks. Hello. Heard the lady character saved the movie. Um, Yelena, yeah, whatever, however you want to say it. She was the probably the best part of the movie. But I think they tried to do a lot, and I don't think they quite got there with some of what they were trying to do. Um, but it, well, I mean, it hit me pretty hard. Um, I don't want, if you haven't seen it and you want to, I don't really want to do too much talking about it. But for me, it was the best thing that Marvel has produced since Endgame, I think. I haven't seen it yet. That's why I don't want to say too much. Sentry is such a complex character. Yeah. Yeah. And that's, um, yep. Just, I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna say that it was, when I walked out of that movie, I thought that this is the best thing they have done since Endgame. It's the first time, maybe, I don't remember if I cried at Endgame or like, I'm sure there have been times that I've cried at Marvel movies. This one had me going. I was like, but I have a thing. First time, Alaska Wild Serenity. That sounds good. I like that. First time tuning into your life. Saw a video a while back about your sobriety walk. I'm with you, brother. Took a lot of courage to put that out publicly. Well, thanks. Yeah. I mean, that's what this whole channel is about, like honesty and life and making stuff when I happen to. So, cried over Rocket Raccoon's backstory. Yeah, I can see that. Um, like I said, I'm sure that there have been a few times, but I was crying last weekend at that one. But it was like happy. It was like a happy cry. You know those ones. You know, you cheered when Captain America picked up Mjolnir. No, I I don't know if I ever like out loud cheered about anything. Trying to think if there was ever a time in the theater that I actively cheered about something. Don't remember one. Still missing a plane? Well, it's not missing. Like, I know where it is. It's in New York. It's off gallivanting. At least I think that's where it is. Tim? Yeah. It's in a box in my shop. Yeah. I'm in no hurry. Clearly, it was on the wall for a long time, not getting used. Now it's in your shop, not getting used. It's pop tastes flat. Like it's brand new, fresh opened. It tastes flat. It was a journey to achieve it. Finding it here in Alaska. Find what? Hold on. Probably serenity, I guess. You're finding serenity in Alaska? Seems like a pretty good place to find it. I never cheered in a movie theater. I don't think I have either. Maybe, but no, on our second date, my husband shushed me as soon as the lights started to dim in the theater. Were you blabbing? Were you being all talky? Because, yeah, shut up, movie's starting. Now I want to know, what was your second date movie to your not yet husband when he shushed you when the lights went out? Serenity, sobriety, and peace. That sounds nice. Alaska would seem to bring either serenity or extreme anxiety. Why not both? Yeah, I get that. Fucking cold sometimes. But probably fairly quiet. I mean, unless you're in like Anchorage, I guess it's a fairly major city. But I think Juneau's pretty big. Not enormous, not like Metropolis. It's just over there. It's only like this far away from me, depending on the map you're looking at. Oh, so if you haven't yet, after this video, after we are done for tonight, go watch the video that came out today about picking a project. Because I got a couple of little things that I want to do. And then I want to get back into like major stuff. Juneau is the capital. Anchorage is. I thought Anchorage was bigger than Juneau. And just because it's the capital doesn't mean that it's the biggest city. There's lots of places in the U.S. that the biggest city is not the capital. In fact, lots of places in Canada. It is. See, I told you. I know stuff. I know lots of weird stuff. You guys remember Bacchus? That was weird. Mm. And somebody one time asked on this show, so I'm like, who is this guy? And somebody else, like one of the regulars, said, he drinks and he knows stuff. That's who this is. And now I guess I just know stuff. I lost half of who I am. I might have been Amy Gersh. Said like, oh, this is Mike. He drinks and he knows stuff. Oh, not a lot of talky talk tonight, you guys. You ever do any round timber construction with logs? Sure didn't. No. That's, I leave that for people with machines. He thinks he's Tyrion Lannister. And he begs Paul for free stuff. I don't beg anybody for nothing. Paul says, I'll give you one of these. I say, okay, thank you. And then I bug him that he hasn't yet. That's how that goes. Just started learning all by hand. How do you move them? You can just lift up a log. It's called begging. That's not begging. Paul says, here, I'll give you one of those. I say, okay, thank you. And then when he doesn't, then I remind him that he hasn't yet. The same way that he does to me about the goddamn shop stool, okay? It's reciprocal. McGill, are you coming for pizza or no? Because otherwise, I think I'm going to go to bed after the show. Like, if you're coming, I'll stay up, but he's Paul's work wife. A little bit. Electronics. Oh, yeah. The stool you've been talking about for 3 years? Yep, that one. It's right here. How you guys doing? Wife won't let me tonight. Okay. Something about spending time with family. You do that tomorrow. God. Had to go check with my husband. He doesn't remember. But he remembers shushing you? I got Shanghai curry noodles. That sounds pretty good too. You guys got lots of noodle places down in the little bottom chunk of the island there. There's a lot of noodle places. If you want a mediocre noodle, speaking of mediocre pizzas for a decent price, there's a noodle place down in the down there. Wok box. That's what it's called. It's like Domino's for noodles. But it's better than it should be for like about 2 months now. Just what? 2 months what? Riding. Walk box. That's there. See? You know. Perfectly okay mediocre noodle box is what that is. Paul is at 7 guitar blanks on Instagram. I had to go to Instagram enough. I gotta go check it out. Box of faux place. They had all kinds of stuff. It was like you pick your noodle, pick your sauce, pick your meat, it's like Subway, except for noodles. Like I want the fat noodles with the Szechuan sauce, chicken at a 7 or whatever. You pick your spice level and whatever, and then they just like throw it in the pan and they do the thing. They put all the stuff in and they throw it in the pan and chuck it around and then they throw it in the box. When I was working in Langford at the newspaper, probably twice a week on my way home, I would get the noodle box. Szechuan beef, I think, is the one that I would get. No, chicken. I got it. It was a chicken something. Seven more telly bodies. Yay! That's pho. I know, but it's more fun to say it wrong and have people correct you. Hope all had a great day. I had a very enjoyable day. Hey, that's good to hear. All but having a horse spaz out. And I went off on him. Starting to hurt a little. Well, be nicer to your horse. I think. I don't know. Is there a moral there? Was there a lesson learned? I had a pretty good week in general. I gotta say, like, this was one of my better weeks in the last while in terms of I don't know about like happiness level, but like I accomplished a bunch. I did like a relatively thorough shop clean, not the like getting into all the nooks and crannies with the skinny adapter on the shop vac, but like full sweep, emptied the dust collector and the shop vac, and the full sweep and not dusting, but like cleaning everything off and just putting things back where they go. And so the shop is like pretty reset. And then I finished Gretchen's box on Monday-ish. And I was just waiting for her to confirm what else needed to go in the box with the box to go to her before it got sent off. And then what else did I do? I did a little more cleaning around the house. And I went to jam night last night. That helped a lot. The Patreon peeps got a new recording of another original song over at Patreon this week from jam night last night, Thursday night. And then I made the video of the what project should I do next, and then sounds like the shop is ready to finish up 2 guitars or a wall cabinet or whatever. The more he delays, the more things I add to the box. It does seem to be that way. The one she asked for over a month ago, yes. She commissioned it over a month ago, and I started it, but then I had to pause it to do some other things that were more urgent because she was kind of dumb and didn't actually give me a deadline. So That's what happens when you give people a deadline of whenever you get to it. That's when you're going to get it. when you are engaging in a custom order from somebody who's making you a thing, tell them when you want it by. Because that needs to be part of the discussion. If the discussion involves I'll just take it whenever, that's when you're going to get that thing. Do you still do projects? It's hard to say. I mean, some would say no. Admittedly, I gave him carte blanche and I'm okay with the length of time. Yeah, well, you have to be. Because you said whenevs. Mike's going to get his plane and drill back by Christmas 2026. Because that's my bad. I said whenever. Once I make an agreement with somebody to give me the thing whenever, it'd be kind of a dick move for me to say now in the process, be like, I need it next week. Gretchen Paul is in the chat if you want a finished box. Her box is finished. I cannot prove it to her because that would involve spoiling the surprise that is the box that I made. I want her to not know what she's getting until she gets it. It's not super fancy. It's pretty nice. But there's very specific dimensions and that's it. And even the specific dimensions were like the inside dimensions of the box this way, and then not very tall, like not like less. I think she said less than 4 inches tall. So she gave me 2 dimensions and then a less than this on the 3rd dimension, and that's it. It won't be that long. You'll probably get them back in a couple weeks. Okay. Be careful if you ship it via Gan Post. Oh, right. That's going to be a situation again, isn't it? Canada Post might do another strike sitch. So, we'll see. Don't stress out about things that are beyond your control. If you are not, if there's something that is either going to happen or not, that you cannot impact in any way, why stress out about it? That describes what I want exactly. Let me see if I remember. This 9.5 by 12-ish. Wait. No, 9 by 12 interior. And you actually got about 9.5 by 12.25. I think. And then less than 4 inches tall. Possible strike on the 22nd. Okay. Sean, how are the noodles? My pizza's mediocre. A cam post strike. No worse than regular US post after the pandemic. And both of those things are better than UPS. UPS is the fucking worst shipping company on the planet. Did you see MEC is Canadian again? I did see that. I don't care, but that was mean. I have no relationship with MEC. I've never purchased anything from them. I've never been to one of their stores. My fish is pretty tasty. Both bites of it. Ha! Nine and a half by 12 by somewhere between 2 and 4 inches. Fairly sure that I was successful at that. I've had great luck with UPS, but we're limited here. UPS can suck it. UPS, it like, no. I've never dealt with UPS at any of the jobs that I ever worked at or in my personal life where at least 3 out of every 4 times that I've dealt with them throughout my life in any context, the interaction was shitty in some way. Even if it's just a matter of them hitting me with a bonus charge for them, like processing some piece of paperwork at the border or something, like just brokerage fee nonsense that they just like, oh, you bought this $70 thing. Here's another $100 fucking dollars that you just have to give us to let it cross the border. No. Just sent a guitar to someone using UPS. Why would you do that? They printed the label. It was sitting on my porch when I got back with a note. Said the label was incorrectly printed. What's MEC? Mountain Equipment Co-op, I think is what it stands for. It's like an outdoorsy store. Sell tents and hiking poles, and that's about it. No, the outdoorsy stuff when you're going outdoorsy. Sorry to hear that about UPS. Maybe they don't work well in Canada. Well, we own. I don't think you can use them in Canada unless they're coming from the States. I don't think we have a. Maybe you could ship within Canada via UPS. I don't actually know. Mikey B, how are you doing, my friend? Oh, I was just making music with that guy just the other day. And if you were a member at patreon.com/wooden things and stuff, you could see some of the results of that happening. He's the guy doing the boop every now and then he goes over here and goes. MEC is like REI. I don't know what REI is. So, yes. They sell tents and shit. Like and hiking poles, carabiners, and boots, I think. I don't know. Like I said, I've never gone. Just ate some smoked salmon. Are you okay? Is it? Okay, we have a problem, everybody. I believe Mike Bennett is actually the T-1000. Pretty sure it's like when Terminator called the kid's mom and he asked her a question. Oh, he got the dog's name wrong on purpose. Fairly certain that's how we know that Mike Bennett is actually a Terminator. Because he's like, oh, I just ate some delicious salmon. Now I have a question about whether or not that is actually my friend Mikey B. REI is the MEC of USA. I believe you. MEC is like dicks. We have big dicks in my area. We got big dicks in this area too, if you know what I mean. What? That's what she said? The Skynet really did take over. See, I think pretty sure that my friend Mike is dead. He got like one of these through the throat with the milk, and he's in his kitchen. He's holding the milk and the thing like. It's me, and occasionally I will try a little piece or two, but overall not a big fan of fish, so I enjoyed in the moment, but now I'm kind of regretting it after. If you're really Mike Bennett, what's the kind of remote control toy truck that I was going to get if I got one? I told you with the kind of trade. I said, if I ever get one, it's going to be a. No, that's not a good question because the Terminator would be able to go to the internet and he would be able to find it out because I told him over this thing. It's not a good enough question. Oh, okay. If you're really Mike Bennett, what's the name of the fictional hockey player that I invented this past Thursday at band practice? And what team does he play for? Yes, that's the question, Mr. Mike Bennett. If you're really him, you'll know that the fictional hockey player that I invented on Thursday night at band practice. The fictional hockey player's name was Patrick from the Dabber. It's not Dabernack, it's Tabernac. Patrick Roy of the Tabernac Poutines. That's right. Mountain Equipment Company. I thought it was Mountain Equipment Co-op. That's right, Patrick Roy of the Tabernacle Putin's is the leading scorer of the Tabernacle Putin's. I would play for the Tabernacle Putin's. I Googled because I don't know anything about MEC. I think I thought it was Mountain Equipment Co-op because I think it started out as like a co-op. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different company. But I thought it started out as like a membership. Like if you buy a membership and then you own stock in the company type, like a co-op. Mikey B's bought stuff from there. Because he goes out traipsing in the woods and pretends like he's hunting. He brings a gun and everything. It's that Putin. It's the Putin. It's the Tabernacle Putin's. It was a real co-op where you bought a share and got dividends. See, I told you. I know stuff. It's called Co, but that's short for co-op. Oh, see, But then I don't think it is anymore. I don't know. I shouldn't. I don't know. They have tents and boots and stuff, and hiking poles and carabiners. That's their new theme song, I think. We've got tents and poles and stuff. The Mike's never had this food before. It's the same riff. We've got tents and poles and stuff. If the Earth is indeed the third planet from the sun, wouldn't that make every country on Earth a third world country? If you considered the other two planets to be worlds, and you were counting from that direction, because just because we're the third planet from the sun doesn't mean we're the third planet from everything. Like, what if you were coming the other way? Then you would be like the fifth planet. I mean, it's all relative. Mike's never bought this gear before. Not from MEC. That's for rich people. That's. I ain't got no MEC money. I spend all my money on Veritas Band-Aids. $0.50 each, these motherfuckers. Worth it. Okay, I'm heading to bed now. All right. Later, my friend. Go to sleep off both those bites of fish. We'll talk soon. Hey, you send me the list of things that are going in the box so that I can double check, make sure you got it all. MEC used to be for people who weren't rich back in the actual co-op days. Yeah, all I can, I mean, I really shouldn't be talking about them. I've never been in the store. I've never bought anything from them. It's all hearsay. But I have heard tell that they're expensive. And I think I've also heard tell that they're very sort of like Globo Gym. If that makes sense. If you get that reference, you'll know what I mean. I've heard they can be very Globo Gym. Oh. Maybe we're getting close to wrapping it up. I don't know. We'll see. When the conversation starts to, that's when I know that it's time to hit the old dusty trail, as Paul says sometimes. It wasn't like that originally. I used to buy stuff often from them in the early days. I don't know. Like I said, I have no frame of reference for this. Anytime I ever got anytime I ever got outdoorsy stuff, I would get it from, where would we get it? Because I was in Scouts. Like, I did a lot of outdoorsy stuff. Got a fair bit from Canadian Tire. But that was also back when it wasn't just hot garbage too. There was an outdoorsy store in Regina, Saskatchewan. Oh, there was like a Scouts Canada store that sold some good outdoorsy shit in Regina, Saskatchewan. Back in the day, Sears. We would get some stuff from Sears. REI is a rite of passage for kids of campers / outdoorsy folks. I think LL Bean is the same in the far Beth East. Where's the far Beth East? Sounds like a far off land. Over in the far Beth East. When the conversation starts to dip, that's when I go work on the garage shop situation. No, it's supposed to be family time, Sean. Does anybody else like to go drop shopping at Costco? What? It's where you go and put things in other people's baskets without them noticing. No, I don't do that. Because that sounds like, I mean, it sounds kind of funny, but it's also like kind of being a dick. Shit, you read my mind. I do that a lot to you, it seems. All the stores seem to care about quality and keeping costs reasonable back then. Well, it's not us that are getting old. Well, yes, it is. No, it is. We are getting old also. But it's also sociological fight words. Just put asterisks Here's where here's where I go off about social justice and capitalism, and then we move on. I just joined Costco last week, so I might consider that. Well, I mean, it sounds funny, but it is also being a dick. I mean, really though, what's the worst that's going to happen? Because it's Costco, and they get to control what they buy up at the front. It's not like there's somebody scanning stuff out of your cart and you don't get to look at what you're buying. So like as you're taking stuff out of your cart, you're going to realize that I don't want this thing and then I'm not going to buy it. So it's not like a whole lot of hassle for that person, I guess. It's a hassle for now employees that have to go back and put it back on the shelf. I'm gonna have a smokerette. I guess if we're just you're trying to keep Mark in a job, I guess. I don't know. Who are you calling old? Yeah, I'm older than you, I know. I might be older than you, and I might be in worse shape in some ways. But I feel like in other ways, like you feel older than you are. Let's just say that. How come you didn't say anything about my hilarious joke about how you try to go hunting? No, you pretend. You go out in the woods and pretend to hunt. That was a hilarious joke. The people at Costco are pretty chill. I don't know who I would pick on. The employees seem to be pretty chill at Costco. There's some. Okay, I don't know. Is it? I hope it's not just me. Are people in general getting worse at like spatial awareness and like just like being able to recognize their situation around and know whether there are people around them, or are they just caring less? Because I feel like grocery shopping and being in grocery stores and big box stores and stuff, I feel like it's getting worse for people just not getting the fuck out of your way and just being okay with just standing there while you're trying to either go by or get to something. Am I the only one who feels this way, that the people are getting worse at just being polite and moving out of the way for you? Like, I don't know if they're getting worse at recognizing that there is somebody who would like to get by or get something, or if they just care less about the fact that you would like to get by or get to a thing. Does he pretend or fail? I think maybe a little bit of both. Since 2020, it's like people pretend they are completely solitary. But do you think they're pretending like they're the only ones in the store? Or do you think they just don't care that they're not? I'm trying to figure out if that's just me getting old and cranky. Well, maybe it's a bit of both. I don't know. But It feels like people used to be better at recognizing there are other people around who would like to go by now or whatever. This yesterday at work, spatial awareness is right. So it is getting worse, right? You're greedy. It's all about that. It's no different than when they're driving down the road and too busy texting and not paying attention. No, that is different. That is absolutely different. Because that's like an actual physical danger thing that they're putting other people in. I'm just talking about like, I would like a box of cereal. Can you recognize that I'm waiting for you to move out of my way so I can get the box of cereal? Or whatever. I think it's a neurological compensation for having to distance ourselves during it. Maybe, but like you forgot human decency? Okay, bye, Marv. Enjoy the hockey. I think they don't own how to deal with being around people anymore. It wasn't that long, you guys. We were only not in public and with people all over us in like in our spatial surroundings for like 6 months or something. And you would think it would do the opposite. You would think you would be more aware of people in your space and you would want to get out of their way. That's why they call it hunting, not catching. Well, you're better at, yeah, I guess you're. And again, we were talking about getting old. Mikey B, I think, didn't you tell me the story about one time where you were out with your dad and you guys both saw one and you were like, yeah, but it's way over there. Like then we if we got it, we'd have to go get it. That is way over there. Oh. It's the 3 urinal problem. Guys, no, here's your scenario. You got 3 urinals. Which one do you use? If you're the first one in, and which one do you choose if you're the second one in? If you're the first one in, you go to the middle one so that there can't be anybody beside you while you're going. Because every other dude that walks in is going to look and wait until you're done. Or you're a decent human being and you go to either the far left or the far right one so that there can at least be one other dude peeing at some point. Or you can just use whichever one you want, and then if you go in and somebody's using one, just don't use the same one as that person is using. Like, I honestly do not care if somebody's using the urinal next to me, because why would I care? Just piss in one of them. It would be weird. The only thing that would be weird is if I was pissing and somebody came and tried to use the same one. No, you choose the left or the right, leave the middle empty. Just pick one and go. Get back to whatever you were doing. Just don't pick one that somebody else is already using. Seen plenty and turned them down over the years due to daylight or distance or terrain or just... I remember you telling me this story specifically. You guys were both looking at it, and you actually had a conversation about how much work it would be for you to actually, like, if you killed it, you'd have to go get it, and it's way over there. Basically, you want to like get out of the truck and walk like 14 feet, and then there's one right there, boom, and then you just like take it back to the truck, like. Don't move, I'll get in under you. Right? That would be the weird. They would be the weird one, is they were like sharesies. We were sitting in the truck, and I turned to Dad and I said, "You're too old for this, and I'm too fat for this." Yeah, something like that. Like, let's just go home. Like, you guys drove like dozens of hours one time to go not shoot anything. Took a boat, drove a few hours, took a boat, and then drove a whole bunch of more hours? Nope. It's fine. They sell food at the grocery store. Okay. Coming up on 2 hours. I think we're pretty much... I've driven for days and not shot anything. I've driven my entire life. It's not true. I have shot something. Have I shot? I don't think I have shot anything alive since I could drive. No, I could drive. But it's been 30 years, and it was a gopher. I shot targets and stuff. I'm actually quite a good shot. I'm about to head out for a walk and catch the sunset with fam. See? Family time. It's important. It's what's keeping you from pizza. You had to have noodles. Now I kind of want Wok Box. The mediocre fast food noodle joint. LOL, a gopher. It was, yeah, I shot quite a few gophers. Oh, okie doke. Let's get her wrapped up. So, reminder, go to the video that came out today and vote on the project that you want me to do next in terms of major project. I got a couple of little things to do. I'm gonna finish the spatulas. Oh, if you were here for the New Year's extravaganza, you remember the cherry spatula that I started? I took 2 more things out of, I don't remember how they came out. I think that one, like this maybe. Anyway, they came out of the board and there were other pieces, so I like cut out 2 more things. So now I'm gonna have 3 kitchen implements out of that chunk of cherry. So I'm gonna finish these up, and then I want to make right up there, this little spot here. I'm gonna make essentially a cabinet, but it's actually also just a box with a lid that hangs sideways on the wall, that I can take the box off and use it as a, like, bring stuff somewhere. But most of the time it'll live up on a French cleat up there and hold spray cans. So my lacquers and varnishes and spray paints and things like that are going to be in a box up there that I got to make. And then I'm going to take the dartboard down. I'm going to rip the door in half and put a hinge on it, and then put it over at the nutritionalization station with the hot plate on the back half, and the front half will lever up and I can put plates and things in there. And then once all of the voting has happened and you guys have determined what I'm going to do next out of shop stool, wall cabinet, sister guitars, or Sean's bass, I will launch into that. So spatulas, nutritionalization station cubby out of the dartboard cabinet, box for spray cans up there, box cabinet, a box in it, a cabinox, like cabinox, a cabinox for spray stuff, a cubby thing, nutritionalization station, kitchen implements, and then whatever everybody else decides for me to do after that. Was that a dirty joke? Did Gretchen make a dirty joke? Please don't offer to out one in my box. Whoa, that sounds, it's definitely dirty. Currently not working for money? That, yeah, whoa, wow. I imagine that was put, but even still, don't offer to put one in my box. I think your husband would frown upon that. The shop stool is just folklore. It exists. Put a lid on that and I could sit on it and call it a stool. All right, later, Sean. Have fun watching the sunset with your family and dog. You shouldn't have had to say family and dog, by the way. Like, dog is included in family. No, it's not. I concede my error. I was talking about the cherry spatula. That's not that much better. Won't make it into a shop stool, make it into a table. I will drop off this brand new chair I have for you. Well, like I said, I think if the shop stool, I'd make it into a bar stool. It's still a perfectly good bar height stool, even if I don't use it in the shop. And I finish it and I drop it off at my parents' house so that they can have it at their kitchen peninsula part, or whatever. Put a lid on it already. That was mean. I've been around long enough to remember before the current stool started to fail. The current stool is just fine. The old stool, the 2 stools ago, I've been through 2. I mean, currently, I'm only sitting on my 3rd ever stool for the shop. Sorry, I forgot Delhi within many Y chromosomes. I'm going to make spoon and spatula words out of black walnut. Sweet. Okay, the stool you had before the crow's nest one. Yeah, it exploded. Y'all got me typing poorly. It's because you're too busy laughing hysterically at the entertainment because of the hilariosity. You can't focus. Or maybe because you're getting all hot and bothered. You're clutching your pearls. What? Two Stools and Many a Year Ago. I remember that book. Wait. Gretchen's having trouble keeping it together. Got that corner cabinet all fixed up. Oh, yeah, we'll wrap it at about 2 hours. That's good. We're at 1:57. Will any last minute things for anybody to say? We'll tidy things up in a nice little bow. As the rabbit goes, the rabbit goes around the tree and down the hole. I don't remember. I know that's not how I learned to tie my shoes. So I'm laughing. I'm planning a vid of the corner cabinet next week. Yeah. Where are you going to put it? Are you on the Instagram? Oh, it glitched. You can put it on the Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff Reddit. Gretchen is beat red. She's all hot and bothered over there. She's gonna hang up and go deal with it in the bathroom. Okay, and stop it. Stop. Man, too much, too much, too far. And have a great week. I'm expecting a package soon. Nope. Nope. Thought I'd email it to you and let you figure out how. Okay. If it's a short, depending on email only likes certain size videos, but we'll figure out a way for you to send it to me and I'll put it in a video. But Gretchen's Corner Cabinet Saga. All right, there we go. 1:59 and 30 seconds. Let's stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. We will see you next week. Once again, I'm going to finish off the other half of this pizza and fall asleep. Bye for now. I'm going to wait 14 seconds so that I'm at 2 hours. We're just going to sit here in silence and not talk the whole time. I'm talking. Oh no, I haven't been abiding like the dude abides. Obviously, you're not a golfer. Okay, bye for now.